Hello, I'm Sam Stewart.
And I'm Jamie Stewart.
And together we are co-founders of a ministry. It's missions ministry called Charlie's Lunch. And we're just excited to share a testimony of what God has done in the last several months. Well, last January, at the beginning of the year, we had made just a purposed in the Lord to live differently than how we had been living the past couple of years, just trying to make things work.
The financial burden of funding 38 different feeding programs around the world in as many churches was really taking its toll on us.
So we were facing some real stresses in our life, going back to 2016, just experiencing that difficult year in many different ways. And so began January with high hopes. January 13th, it was Friday the 13th, and I woke up and began feeling very bad physically, and I did not know that I was having a stroke. I had never experienced the kind of intense headache and a sluggish sense in my whole body that I was feeling. I couldn't come out of it with rest.
I was completely surprised. We had no idea that what was coming. They did an x-ray in the urgent care and determined that it looked like there was some kind of a bleed on the brain.
I remember the medical paramedics came and immediately put me on a roller bed to take me in an ambulance and took me to the Corona hospital. I was in a serious situation, and I kind of began losing my ability to even perceive what was going on.
It was determined that this was a stroke caused by high blood pressure, and it landed him in the intensive care unit for 4 days. The 5th day on the floor, where they were running tests to try to determine the severity of the stroke. However, he could not speak, he could not walk, he was in a very sedated state to keep him calm, to try to get that blood pressure down to a normal level or a functioning level. So it was very serious. Saturday night, the kids decided it was time to put out on Facebook, on social media, what was happening so that we could rally people to pray. And I felt like, Lord, okay, you're in charge of our lives. If this is what it's going to be, we're going to get Sam through therapy. We're going to get him back on his feet, however long it takes. But we did know that God's people were praying on Sunday, thousands around the world.
I really don't know all that happened, but I do know, and this is what I want to express, is that God came into my room. And he showed himself as a caring father and a Jesus who cares for his own. And he began speaking to me and calling me upward to him, calling me to a different place than I had been, to experience his peace, his love, and his care, his watch. I believe that this was happening in conjunction with different ones that came to my bedside praying for me. I didn't know everyone that came, and there were many that came. Family members, our pastor, Doug and Brenda, came late at night, evidently. But their prayers, my spirit heard those prayers. And they carried me into a place of experiencing the presence of God. And I was so aware of it. I was so keenly aware of it that it was in those moments, I believe, that a healing began taking place in my body.
When I arrived Monday morning, they said, Mom, they came in and asked Dad, what's his name? And he just said, Sam Stewart. It was just like that. And he walked, and they took him out to the side and said, can you walk up these steps? We'll hold you. Something like that.
I said, I don't need you to hold me. I can walk up and down the steps. The prayers of God's people, of friends and family, the work of the Holy Spirit comforting me, because He is the comforter.
I have seen God's healing power my entire life. I've seen God's hand move, but I've seen those who have not been healed. But one thing I do know is that God hears the prayers of His saints, and He responds, and He responds in His way. And we're so grateful that God wasn't done with Sam Stewart yet. He still has a mission, a work to do. And in God's plan and His will, He healed him miraculously from one day to the next. Why? So that we can continue this work that He's given us to do and live our lives to honor God in every way that we can.
Oh, I am so grateful for all who prayed for me. Prayer is so essential and necessary, and to grab hold of God. But something happened where God grabbed hold of me in that hospital bed. I will never forget it. And it's to give praise and thanks to the Lord for.